You ever wonder what makes a truly great song, well, great? It's definitely more than just a melody you can hum. See, underneath the surface of most of the music we love, there's this kind of hidden conversation going on. An elegant, invisible architecture that just makes everything click. Today, we're going to pull back that curtain and take a look at the art of musical conversation.
We've all felt this, right? You hear two musical lines at once, and sometimes it's just perfect. It's like they were made for each other. But other times, it's a total mess, kind of like two people trying to talk over each other at a party. So what is the secret ingredient? What separates that beautiful harmony from just noise?
Okay, let's make this super real. We're going to take the classic melody of This Land Is Your Land and slide a second musical line right underneath it. First, have a listen to this version. Oof, you hear that? It just feels wrong. The two parts are fighting. Now, listen to this next version. Ah, yeah, that's it. The melodies are totally independent, but they work together perfectly. So, what's the difference here?
Well, the answer is a really powerful technique called counterpoint. At its core, it's pretty simple. It's the art of combining melodies. The trick is, each melody has to be interesting all on its own, but when you play them together, they create something even richer, even more beautiful. It's really about making the whole thing greater than the sum of its parts.
And listen, this is not some dusty old idea from a textbook. Counterpoint was perfected way back during the Renaissance, sure, but its principles are absolutely timeless. You hear it in a Bach fugue, yeah? But you also hear it in the amazing vocal harmonies of Queen's Bohemian Rhapsody, or in the way instruments weave around each other in a great jazz solo. The language might be ancient, but the conversation is still happening all around us.
So how do you actually write good counterpoint? Well, for centuries, musicians have learned it through this amazing system called species counterpoint. Honestly, you can think of it like a video game tutorial. You just master one level at a time, starting with the most fundamental rule of all.
And that big, fundamental idea is the balance between consonance and dissonance. Consonance is all about stability. It's the notes that sound pleasing and complete when you play them together. It feels kind of like coming home. Dissonance, on the other hand, is tension. It's the notes that clash just a little bit, creating this feeling of suspense. It makes you lean in, wondering what's going to happen next. And really, the entire art of counterpoint is just managing this beautiful dance between tension and release.
So to understand that dance, we have to start at level 1, first species counterpoint. This is the bedrock. It's the simplest form where we build a solid foundation of pure, stable harmony.
The key to first species is all in the rhythm. It is a strict 1-to-1 ratio. For every single note in your main melody, you write exactly one note in the second melody, your counter melody. You can picture it like two people walking perfectly in step side by side. That's the whole idea.
And because this is our foundation, the rules are really strict. First, you can only use those stable consonant sounds. No tension allowed just yet. That's what creates that pure, clean sound. There's also this really important rule against what are called parallel motions. Basically, you want to avoid having the two melodies move up or down in a way that makes them sound like one thick melody instead of two independent voices. Independence is the goal here.
Let's hear what that actually sounds like. Notice how every note in that top line has a partner directly below it. They move together, 1-to-1, and it creates this perfectly clean, uncluttered harmony. This is our essential starting point. Okay, foundation built. Solid. Now, it's time to add a little bit of flair. So welcome to second species, where we get to introduce a cool little thing called rhythm.
So here, we shift from that 1-to-1 ratio to a 2-to-1 ratio. For every single note in our original melody, the counter melody now gets to play two notes. All of a sudden, the conversation gets way more interesting. One voice is holding steady, while the other one starts to kind of dance around it. And this is a huge deal. This is where dissonance finally gets invited to the party. The rule is pretty simple. The notes that land on the main beat still have to be stable and consonant, but the notes that happen in between the beats, those can be dissonant. This lets us use what are called passing tones to gracefully walk from one stable sound to the next, adding a ton of flow and flavor. Go ahead and listen to this. You can still hear that steady foundational voice, but now the other melody is beautifully weaving around it.
Those little in-between notes create these fleeting moments of tension, and that's exactly what gives the music a sense of forward motion. It's just a huge step up in elegance.
So you can probably see the brilliant logic here. We start with a super stable foundation in first species. Then we add rhythmic interest and some controlled tension in second species. And the system just keeps layering on complexity from there, opening up more and more creative possibilities.
Now, we won't dive into all the crazy rules here, but let's just take a quick peek at the next level, third species, to see just how rich this musical conversation can really get.
In third species, we jump all the way to a 4-to-1 ratio. That's 4 notes in the counter melody for every single one in the original. The faster line now becomes this highly decorative, ornate flurry of notes. Just listen to this. Incredible, right? It's all built on the same simple principles of tension and release, just taken to a much, much more intricate level.
Okay, I can almost hear you thinking, this is cool and all, some music theory from the Renaissance, but why does any of this matter to me today? And you know what? That is the most important question we could ask.
This quote really just gets right to the heart of it. Learning counterpoint isn't some dry academic exercise. It's about understanding the language of music itself. How melodies interact, how to build and release tension. It gives you a brand new lens to appreciate the incredible craft in the music you already love. And hey, if you make music, it's a powerful tool to make your own work that much more effective.
So the next time you're listening to a favorite song, try to listen a little differently. Don't just follow the singer. Try to pick out what the bass line's melody is doing. Focus on the background harmonies. What are they all doing? The music you love is a conversation, and it's built on this hidden architecture. So now that you've been introduced to the language, what new things are you going to hear?